Okay, so market breakdown for the 6th of the 3rd, 23. Let's first look at news. What have we got for this week? Heavy news this week. We have CPI. Oh no, that's CHF. Ignore that. No USD news on Monday. We've got Fed speaking on Tuesday. Heavy AED news. USD news on Wednesday. More USD news on Wednesday. Orange USD news on Thursday. And then we got NFP on Friday. So high impact news this week. There's a lot. And we need to be aware of that when trading. So let's now move on to the trading side of things, the technical analysis side. Let me get rid of that. Right. Let's get rid of everything at this moment in time. And we'll start from the daily. So, daily wise, actually, we'll start with DXY. See everything. Okay. So DXY here. We have a break-in structure. And then we started to break down here. I'm not really too interested in structures like this. This is way too big of a range for me to even consider getting into. It's just nice to know where you are in price. So the structure that I'm primarily focusing on is here. We are currently in a area of supply. This would be our weak low, and this would be our strong high. But at the moment I'm not convinced on the supply holding. I'll go over that in a second why. But as you can see here, we are currently in this level of supply here. And this is, first of all as well, let's get our previous months. Here we go. Previous monthly high. Previous monthly high. Always mark these points. Always mark these points. Previous monthly low. There we go. So we have our previous monthly high up here, and we also have January high here. So this is another point of liquidity that we could potentially see taken. And we have our previous monthly low here. Currently, we'll also mark, here we go, previous daily high, and previous daily low. I'd consider this more as the previous daily low with the more liquidity, as this has no wick. Yeah, this holds more weight as a previous daily low, but nonetheless we will mark that in now. So at this moment in time, potentially could see a break like this. If I wanted to short, I'd want to see a break like this, and then retest, come down, potentially clear this liquidity into this zone here, and then I'd monitor the price there. But as you can see, at the moment we have a lot of liquidity resting to the upside. We have this high and we have this high, both previous month highs. So we know that the majority of the liquidity that is closest to us right now is above these highs. So if we drop to the 4 hour now, you can see very clearly. I'm just going to get rid of this supply. We all know that we are in current supply here, okay? But as you can see here, we have our lower time frame structure, which is currently from here to here. This is how I'm marking my structure now. We come down, we clear liquidity, rest in all here. And then what do we do? Mitigate 50%. And we then sweep. And order flow realigns to the upside. So now what I'd be expecting for this, if we've got a weak high here, potential weak high here, I'll just mark this level out so we can see it. And now we have our structures in line to play the longs. We've mitigated in here, we've set liquidity, and then we've switched bullish. So I'd be expecting this level to potentially hold. So if we see some kind of lower time frame order flow switch there, I'm longing all day to these highs. Let's go down now to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, I'm gonna get rid. No, actually. So we've come down, we've swept all of the liquidity. Well, not all of the liquidity, but we've swept liquidity in the zone. We've mitigated 50%, and then we have had an order flow realignment to the upside here. At this point, what would I be doing? I'd be marking type 2 POIs within this region, or to trade type 2 longs, or I would be waiting for a potential lower time frame shift from here to here, like that, and then up. And then I'd look at getting in my POI here, and then I'd look for lower time frame confirmation here. At the moment, there is no real POI that I'm looking to get into here. The only confluence that we have at the moment is, oh, let me just switch that around. We have a OTE zone here. Prices coming into it, so we know that we are now primed for buys to the upside. We're in deep discount, we've hit OTE, so it would be nice if there was a POI here, but there isn't. So I'm just going to be waiting for that lower time frame, order flow realignment, mark my POI, and then look to get involved. And it looks like it's potentially, let's have a look. So the reason why I'm not seeing any POIs here necessarily is because in a POI I like to see like a clear sweep of liquidity and then a break to the upside. This you could potentially class here. We have inducement, it's swept liquidity here, but obviously we're down here now, and I'm not. And no, actually there was a buy there on from this POI actually on Friday, which I will go over. But currently here, there's no POIs that I'm looking to trade from. There is potentially this, you could call this 15 minutes POI demands, because it has inducement and it's swept liquidity. Let's have a look down on the lower time frame. But you know, just the way it's formed, it's not my favourite POI, but nonetheless it's still valid to potentially see something at. But as you can see here now, our lower time frame structure within this structure here, ready? We have clear sweep of liquidity and a break to the downside. So we are now trading within this whole leg here, and this being the liquidity for that zone. So current price action is we have swept the lows here. This is order flow within the zone, within the range. So potentially, if this wasn't, if this high here wasn't formed as well as it was, sweeping liquidity breaking down has inducement here, then I'd most likely be trading this order flow to the upside, because I'd be anticipating this high to go. But you can see how this is a clear QM. We can react just as easy from here and start moving down. So at the moment I'm kind of on the fence with buying until I see something a bit more substantial. Maybe we get a sweep of this liquidity and then a breakdown here, and then if we start breaking up, then it'll be primed for buyers. But at the moment I'm not really too interested. I'll still monitor price around these levels. If we leave, no, we swept. So yeah, that is DXY at this current moment in time. Looking for buys, but this is in the way of us currently. Let's clean this all up, shall we? Don't like having mess on the chart like that. Let's clean this up. OT. And there we go. That is my current look for DXY. Looking for upside potential. Now let's move to EURUSD. Okay, so EURUSD. You can see here we have this whole leg here. This whole leg here. This is all liquidity. Yeah, this is all liquidity resting. EQ of the range will be down here. We have untested zones here, here. So I am now looking at this range from here to here. We have this low very nicely formed. We have this demand here, but you can also see up here very nice supply formed. Let's mark that. Euro, my bias for Euro is literally the exact same as DXY. We have January low here. We have the previous monthly low of February here. So we have a lot of liquidity resting below these lows, and lower time frame order flow is bearish. There is only one key difference, and I'll explain that in a moment. Let's go down to the 4 hour. So as you can see, like, we do have, this is technically our strong low and this is technically our weak high, but you've got to implement a lot of other things, liquidity concepts, how the structure's forming, and to be honest, a lot of discretion as well. Well, not a lot of discretion, but a fair bit of discretion is also involved. You know, you spend thousands of hours on a chart. You get your instincts, you know. So at this moment in time, I'll be trading towards this low. So we're in our demand here. Let's refine this so it's not so much in the way. And where's our current structure? Our current structure is, see, structure is a bit strange here because we could say this is our structure here and then like that, but at the moment I'm classing my structure as this, and that could be the liquidity for this structure. Sorry, I missed that part out. But at the moment I am classing this as my structure from here to here to here to here. Why? Because we come up and we mitigated into this zone. There's not really any inefficiencies left, apart from, you know, this wick up here. But here we have our supply. Let me mark that out. We have our supply. We've mitigated 50% of that supply, and you can probably already see the key difference here is that yes, look, we've come up, we've swept liquidity here into a nice type 2 POI, which I will mark in a second. But currently, that lower time frame structure is bullish on EU as opposed to bearish. Now, one thing I will say is that DXY structure takes weight over EU. So you can see here, look, clear build of liquidity to the downside. This didn't have any liquidity before it. We've swept liquidity here into a type 2 POI here, which swept liquidity, has inducement and broke structure. And then we started to break down. So on DXY, you know, we formed that low here. DXY, I'm anticipating this low to go to short. So at the moment, I am interested in sells. Even though the structure is bullish, I'm interested in selling down to take these lows here. And then this low. And then take out this demand as well. But let's have a look at lower time frames. I would like to be shorting, and there would have been a nice setup here. There was a very nice setup here on the Friday, which I will go over. But there was a nice setup here as well, but we're missing one key thing, and that is our type 2 POI to short from. No type 2 POI, no trade. So at this moment in time, you can see we have, and it's the same, this is the same on DXY, just opposing. We have this area of demand, which is why I am currently a bit conservative on selling at this moment in time. Yes, we have broke down lower on this structure here, but you've got to remember that this is a strong low and this is a weak high, and all of this is internal range liquidity here. That all is internal range liquidity. So we could just potentially come up, test, come down, which is why I like taking trades from, I would have taken a trade from up here, because you can see the amount of room we've got to pull back into this range before even potentially going up. But now that we've already broke down into this range, potentially clearing out these lows here, I'm not too keen on selling, considering at the end of the day this structure is bullish from here to here to here to here. So I know I just want to be safe. I want to make sure that I'm in the best possible trades. Let's just mark that out here. There we go. So currently no type 2 POIs that I could sell from here, and I am just waiting for price to develop to give us anything. I will watch price within this demand zone here. I will watch it here just to see how price reacts. You might be able to get a small reaction here before taking the lows. But also another thing to be aware of is that we are trading within where is it? What is it? That's it. Yeah. So at the moment you can see, this is why I'm also quite keen on this low break-in, because you can see we've been trading within last Wednesday's candle from here to here. This is our third day within this candle here. Whenever we're trading inside candles, we're expecting a breakout of either side. We know we're either going to break this high or break this high. It adds confluence to the low that I'm looking to break. So this, I know there's liquidity here. This, I know there's liquidity here. This, I know there's liquidity here. I know there's liquidity resting below all these lows. Yes, here and here. But at the end of the day, if my overall bias is to sell and everything I'm looking at is selling, then I'm going to be leaning towards these lows going. So if there is a potential short setup, we can look to take it. Okay, so that is EU done. Honestly, GU is ugly at the moment. It's ugly. We have this higher time frame range here. These are equal highs to me. This isn't a break. This is equal high liquidity. You know, I'm gonna go down to this lower time frame and show you why it's so messy. My bias for GU has been to break this low for a while now. You can see we broke structure here. We cleared internal range liquidity all here. And then we had a structure break to the downside here. All of this, even all of this, is all internal range liquidity of this high to this low. We have supply extreme up here, and then as we went down to the lower time frame, what am I seeing? So first of all here we have that bigger structure. We clear liquidity into a POI, and then we have our order flow realignment here. We break down to the downside. What do we do then? Same shit again. Clear internal range liquidity, and structure starts breaking down to the downside. Order flow realignment here. And then we just look to follow it, and then follow it, and then follow it down until our targets are met. But the problem we have now is that we have a bullish break to the upside. We have a bullish break to the upside. We are trading into this POI here. And same with EU, we have a really nice bullish demand, which I could easily see us take out the high here. We have liquidity on both sides of the market at the moment. Look, we can have equal highs here, previous weekly high, the previous monthly high up here. And we also have tons of liquidity to the downside. Look, we have 3 equal lows here now. You know, so if we get a break of this low here before, and don't break this low before coming back up, I will look to sell. That will be an insanely nice sell if we get that. But if we come down, break the low, then I would be potentially a bit wary of us coming back up. As we know, there's a lot of liquidity down here, depending on how this structure forms, like this. Look for buyers back up into the range. But that is that. GU messy at the moment. Let's go down a little bit lower time frame on GU. Show you what I'm meaning a bit more. Structure here, bang. We come up, we sweep. This is our structure from here to here to here. We then come down, sweep liquidity, and break to the upside. So our current lower time frame range is here to here. And Asia, we're just ranging. We've left equal highs here. We had equal lows, but we've cleared them now, and it looks like we're breaking down. Yeah, honestly, not too keen on GU at the moment. Gonna let it play out. There's a lot of news this week, so you know we're gonna see, especially on Friday, we're gonna see NFP double-ended dildo candle. That'll just probably go take out both sides. Yeah, that's about it. I will make a trade breakdown video for last week's trade. Yeah, cool. That's the weekly market breakdown done.